There's lots and lots of videos out on YouTube that focus on the first serve. It's all about increasing the miles per hour and blasting your opponent off the court with the first serve. But the reality in recreational tennis, up to a fairly high level, is that the first serve is actually less of a weapon than the second serve is a liability. And that is a huge problem. How much are you actually thinking about your second serve, other than feeling a lot of dread when you actually have to hit it? If you know that your second serve is not necessarily anything to write home about, and especially under pressure, you don't really know how to win a whole lot of points after you hit your second serve, this is the video for you. For starters, don't even force yourself to hit as many second serves. If you're not getting many free points with your first serve anyways, and or hitting aces, then why even risk missing it and then having to hit your second serve? So go to about 75% of the pace that you can hit max, but try to get your first serve percentage up to about 75–80%. Now, the pros probably wouldn't get away with that. They can't just serve with 70–75% of what they can hit max. But at recreational level, you will lose more points when you hit the second serve and your opponents can jump on that weaker serve, because everybody is taught to do that. That's the first thing you learn. Move up when somebody is hitting a second serve. Being able to mix up the spin with the serve is probably the biggest argument for making the switch from frying pan grip to continental grip. You need a continental grip if you want to add spin, slice, or kick. And even if you don't learn a kick serve, which quite honestly I would put to the end of the queue of the serves that you're learning, if you just have a flat serve, of course, with a continental grip, and a slice serve, that variety alone is going to pose a lot of problems for your opponents. Because at recreational level, let's be honest, a lot of servers are hitting serves with the frying pan grip. And it is so much easier for a returner to judge and read that serve, because the ball bounces and it keeps on traveling straight because there is no spin on it. It's a lot harder to judge a slice serve if it is hit by a right-hander to a right-hander on the deuce, or of course from a lefty on the outside, because the ball bounces and then keeps traveling away from you because of that spin. So as a right-hander, I can't just sit here and wait for the ball to come to me. If it's a slice serve, it bounces, it travels away from me, and I have to adjust that. And not a whole lot of people are used to that at recreational levels. Do you have a favorite second serve? Basically your go-to that you feel really confident in? You might want to think a little bit more about when exactly you're using that serve. When I played, my go-to serve was definitely a kick serve. And of course, when you play right-handers, both on the deuce court and on the ad side, if I'm kicking the ball, I am going to their backhand. And in most cases, that was also their, well, I don't want to say necessarily weaker return, but not quite as strong as the forehand, because most people want to use their forehand when they can jump on things. However, even then, they kind of got into a groove. So at some point in my career, I learned that I do want to slide in a slice serve as my second serve in situations when it felt I could really afford to lose a point. Because that way, they wouldn't know that, oh, second serve, MEIKE is going to kick. So for instance, at 40 love or 40-15, when you feel you can actually give away a serve if things don't work out too well, that is when I use the slice. So you want to make sure that you use your go-to serve when you're under pressure. When you really need it, go with your chocolate serve. Yeah, that's a German expression. Of course, you can also think about what is there not quite as dominant return side. So again, if you feel that you can let go of a point, that you can afford to lose one, maybe the second serve hit to their strengths. If I'm on the deuce court and I feel their forehand is the stronger return, well, yeah, at 40-15 and I have a second serve, I might try to hit a slice on that one. Again, just to keep them guessing. You don't want to have somebody sitting there and going like, oh yeah, I know exactly what's coming. I can already move into position and basically just nail that sucker. Winning more points behind your second serve does not stop with hitting that second serve. Do you know how to defend the aggressive return that's most likely coming back, even if you work a lot with different spin and different locations? Do you know how to then turn the point from defense into offense again? Your number one rule is you go cross court. Do not change direction when you're under pressure. In other words, don't try to do what Karolina Muchova is trying to do here. Keep it very simple. So if you serve your second serve, anything that comes to the right of you and you're taken with your forehand, if you're a right-hander, you go right back cross court to the deuce court. And if the return lands to your left, you're just taking that ball cross court and you go into the outside. Same thing on the outside. If you're righty or lefty, doesn't matter. You hit your second serve. Anything that comes to your left goes back cross court. Going cross court, you go over the lower part of the net into the deeper part of the court, and your main goal is depth, not pace. You want depth. You don't want them jumping on a shorter ball. And serving on the outside, ball comes to the right side of you, you go into the deuce court. If in the process of playing defense off that really aggressive return, you're getting pushed back, make sure that you're looking for the next opportunity to improve your court position, meaning to move forward again. So if you're back here, it's perfectly fine to hit a higher, heavier ball, or even a moon ball. Create an opportunity for you to come forward again so you're not running yourself ragged 15 feet behind the baseline. Here's a great drill to work on defense of your second serve. So of course, you're hitting your second serve, and if you do have a partner, they return as aggressively as they can, still with control, and you're reacting to that ball. Or of course, you can just simply have them feed that ball. And that makes it a lot easier for them to control the depth and the pace, and it makes for a more controlled practice. If you don't have a partner, you can still work on this with shadowing the next ball off your serve. Here are some more suggestions how to work on that other than just drilling. Play whole practice matches with 2 second serves. You have your first and your second serve, but you're only hitting second serves. You're gonna get tons of opportunities to work with your different spins and locations, and of course having to react off that aggressive return. If you wanna ramp up the pressure, you only have 1 serve. You play a whole practice match with only 1 serve, and you will definitely get into the same pressure situations that you have to make your second serve because, well, you only have 1 serve. If you're interested in getting more videos, content that I don't post anywhere else, do check out my Patreon membership. And if you ramp up to Grand Slam level, you will also join our monthly live coaching call. So do check out my Patreon membership.